Hi guys, welcome to a world where fear lurks in every corner and the unknown is just one scream away. Today, we're diving into the top 11 and best horror movies streaming this June 2025 on Tubi, Shudder, Prime Video, Disney+, and Hulu. From chilling supernatural tales to unsettling psychological nightmares, these films are guaranteed to send shivers down your spine. Handpicked from across your favorite platforms, each movie delivers a haunting experience you won't soon forget. Number 11. The Girl with All the Gifts. Directed by Colm McCarthy, The Girl with All the Gifts is a haunting fusion of post-apocalyptic horror and emotional depth, offering a fresh perspective on the zombie genre. The narrative centers on Melanie, a bright and inquisitive child who, despite being infected, retains her humanity. As society collapses, Melanie embarks on a journey with a compassionate teacher, a determined scientist, and a group of soldiers, each grappling with their own perceptions of what she represents. Their expedition through a ravaged England challenges their beliefs and the very definition of humanity. Senia Nanua delivers a standout performance as Melanie, capturing the character's innocence and inner turmoil. She's supported by a stellar cast, including Gemma Arterton as the nurturing teacher Helen, Glenn Close as the driven Dr. Caldwell, and Paddy Considine as the pragmatic Sergeant Parks. Their interactions add layers of complexity to the story, highlighting the moral dilemmas faced in a world turned upside down. With its thought-provoking themes, compelling performances, and a narrative that challenges genre conventions, The Girl with All the Gifts stands out as a poignant and unsettling exploration of survival and identity in a dystopian landscape. Number 10. Predators. Directed by Nimrod Antal, Predators 2010 is a sci-fi action thriller that reboots the iconic Predator franchise with a fresh, high-stakes survival twist. Set far from Earth, the film drops a group of elite killers into an alien jungle, where they must face not only the planet's dangers, but each other's dark instincts. The story begins as a diverse group of mercenaries, soldiers, and criminals find themselves mysteriously parachuted into an unfamiliar world. As they begin to piece together the reason behind their presence, it becomes terrifyingly clear. They are being hunted. Not by animals or men, but by a race of alien predators who view them as sport. The group must put aside their mistrust and work together to survive, though alliances quickly fray under pressure. Adrian Brody leads the cast as Royce, a hardened mercenary whose tactical mind makes him the group's reluctant leader. Brody brings unexpected depth to the role, balancing brute strength with psychological sharpness. The supporting cast includes Alice Braga as a sniper with a moral compass, Walton Goggins as a deranged inmate, and Lawrence Fishburne in a chilling cameo as a survivor gone mad. Each character brings a distinct edge to the ensemble, highlighting the film's themes of instinct, adaptation, and morality. Predators is praised for its atmospheric tension, grounded action, and return to the franchise's roots. While not overly reliant on nostalgia, it successfully revives the terror and thrill of the hunt, offering a tight, engaging entry that both respects and reinvigorates the Predator legacy. Number 9. 28 Weeks Later. Directed by Juan Carlos Fresnadillo, 28 Weeks Later is a harrowing and relentless horror thriller that expands the world of Danny Boyle's 28 Days Later with a darker, more expansive scope. Set in the aftermath of a viral outbreak that turned much of Britain into rage-infected chaos, this sequel shifts its focus to the attempted reconstruction of civilization and the devastating consequences of reopening a still bleeding wound. The story picks up 6 months after the original outbreak. The infected have died of starvation, and NATO forces, led by the US military, begin to repopulate a secured area of London. Among the new arrivals are 2 children who unknowingly carry a terrible secret that could reignite the virus. As a new wave of infection spreads, the military containment efforts fail catastrophically, plunging the survivors into another nightmare of panic, violence, and betrayal. Robert Carlyle delivers a gut-wrenching performance as a father haunted by guilt, while Rose Byrne and Jeremy Renner play soldiers torn between duty and humanity. Idris Elba adds tension as a commanding officer facing impossible decisions. Brutal, atmospheric, and emotionally charged, 28 Weeks Later is a rare sequel that deepens its predecessor's themes while ramping up the intensity. With its chilling score, visceral visuals, and unflinching direction, the film offers a grim yet gripping meditation on survival, responsibility, and the fragile line between order and collapse. Number 8. Mute Witness. Mute Witness, directed by Anthony Waller, is a suspenseful and tightly constructed thriller that cleverly blends horror and mystery within the framework of a classic cat-and-mouse game. Set in the shadowy streets of Moscow, the film creates a chilling atmosphere without relying heavily on dialogue, fitting as its protagonist is unable to speak. The story follows Billy Hughes, a mute American makeup artist working on a low-budget horror film in Russia. One evening, she accidentally witnesses what appears to be a real murder on set after hours. Trapped in a foreign country and unable to speak, Billy becomes the target of a sinister underground group who will stop at nothing to silence her. As the night unfolds, she must rely on quick thinking and resourcefulness to evade her pursuers and expose the truth. Marina Zudina gives a captivating performance as Billy, conveying fear, determination, and intelligence with only her expressions and physicality. Her vulnerability makes the suspense feel even more palpable. The supporting cast, including Faye Ripley and Evan Richards, adds to the tension, while a surprise cameo from Alec Guinness lends a mysterious air to the film's backstory. Taut, inventive, and refreshingly grounded, Mute Witness is an underseen gem that plays with silence, fear, and isolation to remarkable effect. Number 7. Dead Silence. Dead Silence 2007, directed by James Wan, is a chilling supernatural horror thriller that leans into old-school ghost story vibes with a modern edge. Known for co-creating Saw and the Conjuring franchises, Wan crafts a visually eerie and atmospheric tale centered on ventriloquist dolls, revenge from beyond the grave, and a cursed rhyme that echoes with dread. The story follows Jamie Ashen, a young man who returns to his eerie hometown after the mysterious and violent death of his wife. His investigation leads him to the urban legend of Mary Shaw, a ventriloquist wrongfully accused of a terrible crime and buried with her children, a collection of handmade dolls. As Jamie digs deeper, he uncovers a dark secret that links his family to the curse, and realizes that staying silent might be the only way to survive. Ryan Quanten leads the cast as Jamie, grounding the story with a performance that balances grief, confusion, and quiet determination. Donnie Wahlberg provides sharp contrast as a skeptical detective, bringing energy and grit. With its moody visuals, twisted folklore, and a final twist that redefines the entire narrative, Dead Silence is a cult favorite among horror fans. It may not rely on constant jump scares, but it delivers a steady, eerie tension and unforgettable imagery, especially if you've ever found dolls a little too lifelike for comfort. Number 6. The Loved Ones. Directed by Sean Byrne, The Loved Ones is a visceral Australian horror thriller that combines dark humor with unrelenting tension. Byrne's direction leans into the grim beauty of suburban settings, gradually twisting the familiar into something terrifying. The film balances claustrophobic dread with brutal, unpredictably shocking moments, delivering a fresh take on prom night gone wrong that feels both grounded and disturbingly twisted. The story follows Brent, a high school student, reeling from the rejection of his school's prom queen, Lola. When Lola invites Brent to be her date, only to reveal her invitation is anything but innocent, he finds himself thrust into a nightmarish ordeal. As Brent fights to escape Lola's meticulously orchestrated torture, the film twists the conventions of teenage romance into a night of survival horror, building suspense through relentless, escalating dread rather than cheap scares. Robin McLeavy gives a standout, unhinged performance as Lola, capturing her unsettling blend of charm and menace. She's matched by Xavier Samuel's sympathetic turn as Brent, whose desperation and resourcefulness ground the film's escalating horror. With its taut pacing, grimly inventive set pieces, and surprising bursts of twisted humor, The Loved Ones offers a shockingly original horror experience. Number 5. Mirrors. Directed by Alexandre Aja, Mirrors is a chilling supernatural horror thriller that plays on our fear of reflections and the unknown hiding just beyond the glass. Aja, known for his work in visceral horror, crafts an atmosphere thick with dread and tension, using mirrors not just as objects but as gateways to something sinister. The story centers around Ben Carson Kiefer Sutherland, a former detective struggling with trauma and addiction who takes a job as a night watchman at a burned-down department store. As he patrols the ruins, he begins to experience disturbing visions, reflections in the mirrors that act independently from reality. As the horrors escalate, Ben discovers a dark history tied to the building and a malevolent force using the mirrors as a bridge into our world. Kiefer Sutherland anchors the film with a performance that combines vulnerability and determination, adding emotional weight to the unraveling mystery. Paula Patton plays his estranged wife, bringing a grounded intensity, while Cameron Boyce and Erica Gluck deliver convincing performances as their children, raising the stakes as the haunting grows more personal and dangerous. Blending psychological horror with classic haunted house elements, Mirrors offers a creepy, visually arresting experience. Number 4. The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Directed by Andre Øvredal, The Autopsy of Jane Doe, 2016, is a taut and atmospheric horror thriller that unfolds almost entirely within the confines of a morgue, using simplicity and isolation to chilling effect. With a focus on psychological tension and creeping dread, Øvredal crafts a slow-burn descent into the unknown, where every discovery only deepens the mystery. The film follows a father and son coroner duo, Tommy and Austin Tilden, played by Brian Cox and Emile Hirsch, who are tasked with performing an autopsy on an unidentified young woman found at the scene of a grisly multiple homicide. At first, Jane Doe's body shows no external signs of trauma, but as they delve deeper into the autopsy, they uncover increasingly bizarre and terrifying anomalies that defy logic and science. Brian Cox delivers a grounded, commanding performance as the experienced father, while Emile Hirsch complements him with a more emotional, reactive portrayal. Their believable chemistry adds authenticity and heart to the film, which heightens the tension as supernatural elements begin to invade the clinical environment of the morgue. Minimalistic, suspenseful, and genuinely unsettling, The Autopsy of Jane Doe is a masterclass in building horror from the inside out, both literally and metaphorically. Number 3. Get Out. Directed by Jordan Peele, Get Out, 2017, is a groundbreaking psychological thriller that blends social commentary with horror in a bold, unsettling way. Peele's debut behind the camera earned instant acclaim for its sharp storytelling and eerie tone, using suspense not only to entertain but also to provoke thought about race, identity, and exploitation. The story centers on Chris Washington, Daniel Kaluuya, a young black man visiting the family estate of his white girlfriend, Rose Armitage, Allison Williams. At first, their interactions seem awkward but harmless. However, as the weekend unfolds, Chris begins to notice increasingly strange behavior from the family and their acquaintances. What begins as social discomfort slowly escalates into a surreal and terrifying reality. Daniel Kaluuya's performance grounds the film with emotional depth and quiet strength, making Chris a compelling and sympathetic protagonist. The supporting cast, particularly Catherine Keener, Bradley Whitford, and Betty Gabriel, deliver haunting, layered performances that enhance the film's tense atmosphere and surreal turns. With its razor-sharp screenplay, creeping tension, and smart use of symbolism, Get Out redefined what horror could be in the 21st century. It's a film that entertains, disturbs, and lingers long after the credits roll, not just for its thrills, but for the uncomfortable truths it lays bare beneath the surface. Number 2. Cloverfield. Directed by Matt Reeves, Cloverfield is a found-footage sci-fi thriller that delivers a raw, chaotic, and immersive take on the monster movie genre. Produced by J.J. Abrams, the film is notable for its unconventional storytelling style and real-time pacing, which place viewers right in the middle of an urban disaster with no clear answers, only panic, destruction, and survival. The story unfolds through a recovered camcorder tape, documenting a going-away party in New York City that's violently interrupted by a mysterious and massive creature attacking the city. As buildings collapse and the military scrambles to respond, a small group of friends navigates the crumbling streets in search of a missing loved one, all while filming their harrowing journey. Starring Michael Stahl-David, Jessica Lucas, T.J. Miller, and Lizzie Kaplan, the cast portrays ordinary people thrust into extraordinary circumstances with convincing urgency. Their grounded naturalistic performances help heighten the realism of the film's found-footage format, making the chaos feel personal and immediate. With its frenetic camera work, restrained exposition, and escalating suspense, Cloverfield stands out as a gripping experience that redefined modern creature features. Number 1. Alien. Directed by Ridley Scott, Alien, 1979, is a groundbreaking sci-fi horror thriller that combines claustrophobic tension with a chilling extraterrestrial menace. Scott's masterful direction creates a dark, atmospheric setting aboard the spaceship Nostromo, blending science fiction with horror in a way that redefined both genres. The story follows the crew of the Nostromo, who investigate a distress signal on a remote planet, only to unwittingly bring aboard a deadly alien creature. As the creature begins to hunt them one by one, the crew must confront their fears and fight for survival in the confined, eerie environment of the ship. Sigourney Weaver delivers an iconic performance as Ripley, a strong and resourceful protagonist who emerges as the crew's unlikely hero. Supported by a talented cast including Tom Skerritt, John Hurt, and Ian Holm, the ensemble brings depth and realism to the suspenseful narrative. Praised for its suspenseful pacing, groundbreaking special effects, and unforgettable design of the alien creature by H.R. Giger, Alien remains a timeless classic. It set the standard for sci-fi horror and continues to influence filmmakers and audiences alike with its perfect blend of terror and atmosphere.